You're watching another episode of Your Partnerships Meets with me, your host, Shane Solomon. We've swapped out the wonderful American for this Cornishman today, and I'm joined on the sofa with Mr. Luke Clement. So I'm really delighted to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell me, the people that you're looking to connect with within our network. We have a beautiful network. So what sort of people are you looking forward to connecting to?
So I'm from a building contractors called Base Property Support. We regularly get repeat work from architects, quantity surveyors, and interior designers even. So we're looking to make more connections of that type.
Okay. Now, over the top of this video, we're going to put some images of some amazing work, and your work is amazing.
Thank you.
Now, you really are kind of gearing yourself to a particular market, aren't you? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So our clients typically are looking for their dream home. So if you're the kind of person that has spent decades dreaming of what it is you want to achieve, and you've then finally got the opportunity to do that, you've got a design that's there and raring to go, then that's who we want to hear from. That's who we want to build for.
Now, what sets you out from your competitors then? What gives you your USP?
So we put in a lot of time up front. That's what I've always believed in is, we try and reach out to our clients and give them the best advice that we can to make sure that they really are getting what they want and for the best value that they can. So quite often an architect will send us plans. That will take it so far. That will get them to the point where they can have some budget costs. But actually to really nail down what that looks like as a final fixed price takes a lot more work than that. So we don't charge for that. We go in, we'll sit down with the client, we'll talk to them about their floor finishes, where they're going to get their kitchen from, what tiling they're going to have, if there's any opportunities for value engineering, which is essentially making sure that they're not spending money without any major gain. Then we'll give them consultation on that.
Now, I think one of the biggest concerns I think people have when they instruct developers to build for them is that they're going to turn up when they say they do, that they've got a team that can do it. Now, your team are in-house, right? So you're not just using a whole heap of subcontractors. Your team is your team.
Absolutely.
And you keep them together, right?
Yeah, so for every project, we've got a site foreman. So that site foreman stays on that particular project from start through to finish. That means we get a lot of consistency right through. You don't get these awkward kind of handover periods. Within our contract, we set a timescale. So our quantity surveyor will say, this project will take 24 weeks, let's say, or 12 weeks. And within that, we will meet those deadlines. So that means we're going to be there on this date. There won't be any dead days. There won't be any days where there's no one on site. It's there and it's right through to completion.
Do they work past 3 o'clock sometimes, or? I remember, right? My mum had an extension built, bless her, and I was living at home then. I was probably about 16 years old. And the builder, bless him, would turn up at, say, 10 o'clock, past 10.
Yeah.
He'd be gone again by about 2.
Yeah, I mean,
where's he gone now?
We're 8 till 4:30.
Okay.
So we're site hours, and the guys get there at 7:30. They're ready to work at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's we've got to make the most of our full days for sure. But I've come from that kind of background, so I know what that looks like. Where you're a sole trader, you're running around, you're picking up the materials yourself, and you get there at 9 o'clock, like you say. And if you're firefighting, that's the kind of thing that happens when you've got an organisation which enables planning, preparation. Then everything becomes a lot slicker, and that's why we can get jobs done quicker than smaller contractors.
Now, I know we all take pride in our work. You certainly do. If we was to go on an emotion of the project that you've done most recently, or one that you're really proud of, I'm sure you're proud of all your projects, depending on whatever size they are. But do you have one that you really are proud to shout about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's one that we've just finished. It was a barn conversion in Timoth, and the client had some incredibly lofty ideas, and that's the kind of thing that we really enjoy being part of. So it essentially there is a barn conversion. There's two really large extensions off of it, and they wanted the option to be able to split this down into holiday lets. So it ends up with several kitchens and bathrooms, and all of it's a really high end finish. They had two architects, they had an interior designer, and they had a project manager as well to help us along, which was fantastic. For me, one of the biggest things that we recognised was they needed the ability to be able to change their design to be able to get some of these bespoke finishes. It's not the kind of thing that you can see right from the start. So we did some of the contract based on a cost plus pricing, which basically allowed us to give it the time that it took to achieve whatever they needed to achieve. And the outcome of it was absolutely stunning. One in a million.
So what I want to know is, when we're connecting you up with these people that you want to connect with to get you more of that kind of work, do you prefer coffee, tea, alcohol? So we're setting you up this meeting. So I've got an architect I'm introducing you to. Do you want me to take you to a bar to meet this person?
I'm partial to a decent coffee, to be fair, which we've had this morning so far.
Majestic Coffee, by the way. Big shout out to Majestic Coffee. We'll tag him in the post.
Top stuff.
Yeah. So coffee meeting, and then kind of if we're taking you out for a lunch somewhere, what are you, like a vegan or are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm a meat eater, I'm afraid.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. I like a mixed grill like the next man. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, chicken and fish mainly.
Yeah.
Try and be healthy as I can.
So you're based in Plymouth.
Yep.
Have wheels, can travel, won't travel?
Yeah,
what's the deal?
Absolutely. It depends on what the project is and whether you're going to get value from us, because obviously it's going to cost for us to travel. But at the same time, if it's a complex project and it's got multiple trades and it needs managing, then actually, to find a contractor like us, that they're not always local to you. So it becomes worthwhile having a company like us that does travel. So we cover, we'll consider anywhere in Devon and Cornwall. We're based in Plymouth, so we typically try and reach out about an hour to an hour and a half maximum from there. But that takes us from Exeter right down to Looe, Wadebridge, and so on. We do a lot of work across the south coast of Devon and Cornwall. Tend to do a lot of coastal properties. We do a lot of rural properties in and around the Dartmoor National Park as well. So yeah, absolutely willing to travel.
Now, we appreciate you being in your partnerships. Just tell me, what is it for you about your partnerships that separates it from other networking organizations? Not that we're saying ours is the be all and end all. It's not. In fact, it's important to join as many as you can. But there's something for you. We was talking in the green room just before.
Yeah, absolutely. So Base has been running for 5 years, and I recognised quite early that, in order to bring in new business for the company, we'd need to meet new people. So networking is a really viable option to do that, and a really good use of your time, as long as you're finding the right atmosphere, let's say, the right environment. I've been to lots. I've been to all sorts of networking, and I have to say, when I walked in to a YP event, I felt you're not being pounced on by by everyone, because at the end of the day, I think when you stand up and say, we're a company of X amount of employees and we turn over this, actually, some people's eyes start lighting up. But I didn't really feel that was going to come from any YP event. It was targeted, it was focused. So I've been to a lot of the property investments, construction and trades group, and you go there, you gain something from it because there's someone giving you a talk, and then the networking in between and the networking after, you feel like you take valuable relationships away from them. And I know it's something that, again, you put the work in early, and the things that come off the back end of that are excellent.
I think where Brock certainly got it right is that early culture when it was all formed, of really making it personable without people being too salesy, and learning to ask people how you can help them first.
Sure.
Because if you've got a room full of people asking you how they can help you, that's a total different perspective than going into a room where you're being pitched 24/7.
Totally. And I think, I've been to networking events where there's an expectation for referring, which doesn't really sit that well with me, because I like to refer people that do a good job.
And that
it's going to take me a long time to recognize whether they're good at what they do or not.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. Because it's all built on trust and relationships, right? Every referral that you ever pass is all because you know and trust them.
Yeah.
And that cannot be achieved within meeting you in 2 minutes. You go, oh, here's my card. Would you like a video?
No, every referral you make is going to make a reflection on what you're like as a company or as a person as well. So, I'd like to think that anyone I'm referring is a representation of me.
Sure. Now, a keen skier. Talk to me about that. How long have you been skiing?
1 week.
Was that the first time you've done it?
Yeah, first time I've been skiing.
And how did you get on?
Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it was the best holiday I've ever had. It was fantastic. Keen sports person generally, but skiing first time, and I didn't come back with any broken bones, so I must be okay.
I was so envious of you because I went skiing for the first time in Italy in Medissimo, lovely little skiing village there, and I broke my ribs
nice.
on day one.
Okay,
and
was that before or after beer?
Well, no, I didn't even have a beer. And I was a little bit eager to get started. And I was started on the little small slopes, and I thought, I was a bit like Bambi there, but the friend I went with encouraged me to go on one of the bigger pistes.
Yeah.
And I absolutely ruined myself. And because I was making a documentary about it, I had a GoPro strapped to my chest here. And just when I hit oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
So I'm envious if anyone can ski. But then, you're an ex-PE teacher, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So I was a PE teacher up until 9 years ago, and still very passionate about sport. Still want to give back to sport as much as I can as well. My kids who are 6 and 9, I just love the fact that we can take them out cycling and skiing and do all these wonderful things, and they can kind of keep up with us and sometimes leave me behind.
Yeah, see, I like a little bit of golf. I must admit, I was always that kid at school who always forgot his PE kit. Okay. Because I was always fat at school as well. And I was like, but hey, it's one of those bit of golf now every so often. I've got to make sure I have the golf cart though. I can't go walking. I'm joking. Look, it's been a pleasure catching up with you today. Now, is there anything I haven't asked you about that you'd like to put into this podcast? Any kind of thing that I've missed? I mean, we've talked about your ideal referral. We've talked about the quality of your work, the type of projects you've worked on. Is there anything I've missed?
I think we've covered a lot of the basis. I think one thing that perhaps we may see off the back of it is sometimes there's other contractors out there that have a fluctuating workload, and actually for us to be able to keep our team solid, there's times where if we're not able to fully utilize them, then we want to outsource them to the right other contractors as well. So there's always opportunities for meeting other contractors where we can flex the use of that as well.
Very useful. Very useful. Luke, well, what a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you at an event soon. And of course, you've joined our wonderful elite club as well within the referral club. So I look forward to seeing you at that event. Well, there you go. If you're not already connected to this man, make sure you do so on the social media platform that is LinkedIn. I'm assuming you're on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
So you're on LinkedIn. Make sure you connect with him on there. But for myself and the wonderful organization that is Your Partnerships, I will see you in another episode of Your Partnership Meets very, very soon. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks.